Has it ever crossed your mind how every crowd is a social experiment? But what is a crowd? Well, they say three is a crowd. Interestingly, that's the exact number of people that my boyfriend and I meet up with every Wednesday evening at the same cafe. So I find myself at the same cafe every Wednesday evening. I suppose I'm not one for weekly friendship rituals, but he is my only social ritual. By my own choice. One such ridiculously monotonous but brand new Wednesday, we were talking about The Great Gatsby. Why? I'm not sure. I suppose one of his friends made a joke about Leonardo DiCaprio, and then his girlfriend said that she found Leo cute in some movie. To which my boyfriend immediately replied with his theory on how the movie is actually an analysis of post housing crisis, relationships, capitalism, something, Wall Street, something, and I wasn't really paying attention. But of course, Leo also starred in the Gatsby's film adaptation. Sometimes I wondered why he spoke the way he did. My sister would call it talking posh. In fact, she's been saying I have been starting to talk posh too. Maybe I picked it up from him. My girlfriend here has written an essay on the book. Didn't you? I did not write an essay on it. I wrote a review for some dumb college assignment. I bet the professor didn't even bother to read. Now, I know I'm smart. It's something his many friends and colleagues have told me repeatedly. He loves that you're so smart. He says he couldn't be any luckier. Right. Time to perform my intellect. I like The Great Gatsby. It's a novel written during the turn of the century. In fact, you don't need to listen to all of it because I don't really care for the American novel or any novel for that matter. I was just getting to the end of my pretentious lecture when he jumped in, just as I was wrapping up. But of course, Fitzgerald was sexist. The women in his books were either weak or selfish and often seemed to benefit from their behavior. But the book is still worth the read because of the investigation it launches into the vapidity of the American dream. Now, vapidity is not a word. Vapid is, and he loves to use it. He uses it specifically to describe his female friends, one of whom was sitting with us right then. My friends, they like their girlfriends vapid. Not like me though. I really want to tell him that is not how you use the word, but I don't. I digress. Where was I? The American dream. Suddenly, the woman at the table goes, "Oh my god, she already said that. I'm bored of this." I tense. He looks at her, says, "I doubt that, right?" He looks at me. So does she. But she is looking at me. The remark seemed off the cuff, vapid even, but it was made with intent. She's right and she knows it. The title of my review was literally The Misogyny of the Great Gatsby, and I definitely spoke about it for like 5 minutes. He is still looking at me. No, of course, that was pretty insightful. I feel him relax. He drapes an arm around my shoulder. But when we leave, he is silent. I hate the silence. It's the worst experiment. We get into the car and he drives. We stop as the signal turns red. Suddenly he goes, "She's a bitch, Anika. Isn't she?" I say nothing. Yes, she is. Ah, fuck. Yes, she is. His anger isn't performative, it's quick, it fizzles out easily. Um, the lights turn green and we drive on. We reach home and get into bed. He plays an episode of Bojack Horseman and makes a comment about nihilism in a person with depleting self worth. I nod and smile. I love that you're so smart. I know. I know. The next Wednesday, we meet up again. We don't talk about books or movies, and I'm grateful for that. I get up to go to the loo where Anika joins me. We're both in front of the mirror, setting our hair, and suddenly she goes, "That Gatsby book. The guy stole it from his wife, right?" Maybe not all of it, but yes, many of the famous passages were plagiarized from stuff his wife wrote originally. She says nothing, and then, "You should leave him, you know. You're really smart. You should do it." We both go back to the table where I find my boyfriend talking rather animatedly about Fight Club. I slip in beside him, play with my hair as he explains anti consumerism to us. On the ride back home, we both sit and fester in the memory of the previous ride. I can feel his conflict. He's never really subtle, despite his best efforts at being unreadable. He says, "I'm not a bad person." No, you're not. Right. Sometimes I see myself snapping his neck, but I don't. I'm smart. I'm smart and I know I'm staying. That's why Anika, who asks me to break up with my boyfriend, also stays. That's why we all stay. Don't ask me for reasons, I'll just give you platitudes. I just realized there is no experiment. It'll always be just me and him and two other people at the table. Just us. And we're all the same. The lucky few. A few days later, he looks up at me from his laptop on the kitchen table and says, Did you know F. Scott Fitzgerald, the Gatsby guy, stole passages from his wife, Zelda Fitzgerald, her journals, and used them in Gatsby? No, I didn't. Tell me more though. And he does.